Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of November the 26th, 2021. What will be in Alita 2, Alita 3, a series, and beyond, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek from Denver, Colorado in the United States. And right now I'm doing it solo. And there's only two of you out there, so I guess that's cool. We'll go ahead and start. There'll be a couple others coming along. It seems like they are always late, but that's okay. And Lee Lemon, I see you're out there, so howdy. So what we want to talk about here is what could be, and none of us on this podcast or live stream or whatever, we don't have any kind of inside information. We're not directly connected to Alita Battle Angel, except for being avid fans and advocates, of course. But what could be in these things? I guess that's the main topic that we want to kind of go over here. And certainly we've been after a sequel even long before I joined the Alita Army. I think probably well over a year before I joined the Alita Army. The Alita Army was definitely fighting for that sequel, and since then it has kind of expanded. Now we say here Alita 2 and 3, but really I think you guys know what I want. The Creek actually wants more than just 2 or 3. I want maybe 4 or 5 movies, because there is certainly enough material in the manga to support several movies, not just 2 more. I mean, you could really, and you guys know this, those of you who've read the manga know this as well as I do, is that there's enough material in the original series and in the last order to support maybe 5 or 6 or 7 movies. It's just that much material. So, but we're really going to focus on, I guess, a sequel and maybe a trilogy for the most part, but we'll probably dabble a little bit in a couple of movies after that. You know, what an animated series might look like, and certainly anything else that would have to do with Alita Battle Angel in terms of the character, and that would include merchandise too. So any merch, we want to definitely talk about that one. And while we're still waiting on a couple of others, I'm going to put the link in the chat just in case somebody wants to come on and talk about Alita. And we're not limited to this. You guys know how this stream works. We'll go into a lot of different topics. It's not just, just what the main topic is, for sure. We're not that organized like the Radio Chaos stream is. They're pretty organized, compared to us, So, but anyway, we definitely, want to talk about our favorite cyborg girl. Hopefully that she will, get that, get that sequel or get that trilogy or whatever. So if anybody wants to come on, there's the link. That means you, Lee Lemon, if you want to come on, or anyone else, if you want to come on and talk about Alita, here we are. So first of all, let's talk about, hello there, Ash Blackwind. How's it going? Let's talk about a sequel first, because I think that's what most of us have been, or not most of us, damn near all of us have been wanting, from the movie Alita Battle Angel. We definitely, at least want a sequel. The Creek definitely at least wants a sequel. And I don't mean just a sequel and that's it. Creek will be happy and I'll be satisfied, and I'll never, never complain again about not seeing enough Alita on the big screen or on, say, in a series. I will complain. I will definitely complain, because the Creek wants many different movies. But in terms of Alita being a character in the sequel, there are certainly, we saw in the movie 3 bodies. We definitely saw the doll body. we saw the Berserker body, and we saw the Motorball body. So, and I think this body that you see here, I don't, this may be the tuned body. I'm not real sure about that because I can't see enough detail on it on this. It's kind of like a poster, you know, for an additional, you know, kind of a movie or a promotion for a movie or something like that. But my guess would be that this is the tuned body, but who knows? You know, it could be the Berserker body that's been upgraded. That's for sure. But I think we saw, and we've talked in several streams in the past, that, you know, in terms of the number of bodies that Alita has, is that I think there was a, you know, kind of, I think that trivia contest that Radio Chaos had about 6 weeks ago or so. I think we came up with 10 bodies is how many bodies it was, but I'd have to go back all the way through the manga and start counting them up again to be absolutely sure. And that didn't count her bodies in terms of when she was a little girl, you know, when she was actually on Mars. So anyway, you know, she was in, you know, certainly, you know, several bodies. She was in a body that she was actually training for in the Mars Chronicles. And and when she was in the military, she was in a Berserker body, you know, when she got captured, I guess. But I think, oh, okay, Lee, it says your mic's not working. No idea what that problem is. Yeah, I think that's one of those things that you have to click on it that allows the, you know, the browser, I guess, you know, to pick up your mic. I think you have to kind of register your mic with a browser or something. I don't know how to do that, so or else I'd tell you. So, but anyway, yeah, with the Berserker body, obviously, you know, that's the final body she had when she was in the military. Before that, she was kind of in a titanium kind of a, you know, kind of, I don't know what other kind of alloy they would have, but she was trained in another cyborg body and then transferred over to a Berserker body eventually. Hello, Lee Lemon.
Howdy.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Real good, real good. So before we get back to this, Lee, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, what country are you in? You don't have to give us your exact location, of course, but just a little bit about you personally.
Well, I live, I think about an hour and a half south of you, actually, south of Colorado Springs.
Oh, wow. You're down there near Pueblo then, aren't you?
Yeah, just a little bit close to there.
Yeah, I guess. So we got another Coloradan there. It's a you know, Alita Army member there, you know, with Do Not Stand By and Alita Rave, you know. So I guess we got a formidable presence in Colorado, don't we?
Seems so.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah. I actually, I guess last year, I guess it was late last year, I actually competed in a powerlifting event in Pueblo. You know, and that was Pueblo's a neat little town, you know, kind of cool. I guess, or the locals would call it Pueblo, I guess. But when it's supposed to be Pueblo, they call it Pueblo, you know. So anyway, okay, when did you get involved with the Alita Army there, Lee?
Trying to think exactly when. Probably about 6 months after I saw the movie when it first came out.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, we got Angelus just joined us. So 6 months after after the movie came out, that's you kind of, well, you came on a little bit before I did, even. I think 6 months after the. Yeah, I think, Lee, you're going to have to mute your. I guess if you're following it on YouTube, you know, you have to mute the YouTube.
No, that was me.
Oh, that's you, Angelus?
I muted it.
Oh gosh, Angelus, yeah, Angelus always causing problems, but. So anyway, yeah, Angelus, we got Lee Lemon on. He decided to jump on. You know, hopefully, Lee, you weren't feeling sorry for me because I can talk about Alita in my sleep, for that matter. So it's not, I think one day Jay and I's Day jumped on because he felt bad for me for being the only one on, but it was okay, really. I can talk about Alita anytime, you know.
No, I've been thinking about coming on for the last few streams now. I finally got the courage to do it.
Yeah, it's nothing to it, man. We're all friends here. You know, we just love talking about Alita, and you know that's the only requisite for getting on here. Come on, you know, we'll definitely have a chat about it, you know. And Angelus, Angelus,
Yes.
how's it going down there in Brisbane in Queensland, Australia? How's that going?
I was about to say Brisbane, Colorado, and I think, wait a second, that's not right.
Yeah, you're not in Colorado, are you?
But yeah, no, it's okay, I guess. It's just last day off, so I'm just chilling. Usually just at home gaming. So
Oh, so you're not working today, huh?
last day off, and then working tomorrow.
So you guys down in Australia, y'all, I guess it's a U.S. holiday, Thanksgiving, I guess, mostly, right? You guys don't do anything like that, do you? Or at least not on November the 24th or whatever it was.
No, we'll just join in on everyone else's celebrations.
Yeah. Yeah, we just kind of use it here in the U.S. We use Thanksgiving as the excuse to stuff our faces with food. So that's, you know, and drink beer or wine, whatever, till we nuts, go crazy, you know. So,
Yeah, every day's a reason to party.
Oh, yeah.
Australia.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. So anyway, I guess what we were talking about, I guess before Lee and then Angelus joined on, you know, in the sequel itself, which I guess James Cameron has said that's going to be Alita, the Battle Angel, Fallen Angel is what she's, or Alita Fallen Angel or something like that. What do you guys think, Lee? What is it do you think that you think we're going to see in a sequel with Alita? And there's some talking points there you can kind of look at and you can expound on, or you can add something to it if you want. So just kind of what do you feel is going to be in a sequel?
I really couldn't even begin to guess, but I would hope to see some more of the Motorball and maybe a bit of the Badlands arc, at least maybe the start of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why that last bullet I got down there, you know, if you put all the Badlands art, Motorball, and the Zerker Pan art, that's going to be a 4-hour movie, so that's not going to work, you know, so they'll probably have to split that up. So, but you definitely want to see Motorball, right?
I certainly wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of it, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I guess what I would like to see in it is how she got through the second league. You know, I'd like to see some of her competitions, you know, about how she, you know, evidently in the way the movie was set up, and I guess the way, you know, it's portrayed in the manga, she pretty much zips through the second league. She doesn't have any trouble, you know, with that. It's only when she gets in the Champions League where it gets to be, or the first league is when it gets to be a challenge for her, you know. So, and then of course she has that competition against Joshigan, you know, which is, you know, he's the Motorball champ, you know, as they would say, or the best. So, what do you think, Angelus? What do you think's going to be in a sequel?
More cyber bodies.
Oh yeah.
And just, I guess, the different takes that Rodriguez and Cameron would have. Because, I mean, they stayed pretty, like obviously she had, well, in terms of phases, she had what you would call the doll body in the manga. Yeah. She had the berserker body in the manga, but obviously the design and aesthetics were different.
Yeah.
So but the Motorball body, for example, kept fairly close to the manga, at least in the sense that, you know, she's got the reverse blades, but obviously, you know, they ended up just we'll just stick the Damascus blade in there because, you know,
yeah, that's right.
He's cybernetic and it just works out that way. So I'm interested to see their take on,
Yeah.
like I said, the various cyber bodies, and especially in um, with the tuned body as well. So
Cool. Yeah. And welcome, Maxie from near Sydney in New South
oh,
Wales,
Maxi
Australia.
Pad.
See, I got it right,
No,
Maxie.
Maxi Pad is where I live. All right.
Yeah, Maxie's
that's my pad.
So how's it going, Maxie?
Oh yeah, trying to wake up. The usual.
That's right.
Actually had almost the right amount of sleep today, except bloody cats keep waking me up. Selfish little bastards that they are.
Yeah, my dog doesn't do that to me. He doesn't wake me up like that, except sometimes if I hear him about to throw up, then that wakes me up,
Yeah.
Got to get down there and get to him before he does that,
Oh,
So,
cats?
Yeah.
No, I have the
I've got
cats.
some cats for
Creepy
you
has
here.
the dog.
There's a cat right there.
Yeah, that cat. I could live with that cat.
I could keep that cat. That's all good.
Oh, I guess what I said didn't come out right. I said I could live with that cat. I meant was I could handle. Well, no, I can't handle that cat. I mean, I love that cat.
She has that effect on all of us.
That's like trying to hug a leopard, man. You're taking your life in your hands.
Yeah, and I'm. Here a couple of weeks ago, what did I say? I loved Alita's tail. No, that didn't come out right, did it? In that cat Lita body, So, so anyway, Maxie, I guess I asked Lee, and we have Lee Lemon on too. He just jumped on here to talk to us. So we got a new Alita Army celebrity, on our streams. So now,
celebrities.
Yeah, that's us. So
You're a celebrity, Lee, really?
News to me.
I figured as much.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess Dan's going to be on here in about 10 minutes or so. He's going to be he said he wanted to come on, but he's going to be he said 15 minutes late. But with Dan, it's probably going to be more like 20 or 30. So
Or he mightn't show up at all, which is what he does most of the time on
which he does.
Radio Chaos.
That's right. He says, I'll come on, and he doesn't. So, yeah. Yeah, and I guess David Watson says, all about that tail. Yeah, it is. The Creek loves that tail. So anyway, oh, gosh. The Creek loves Cat Lita's tail or whatever. Yeah, never mind. Let's move on from that. I keep digging that hole.
You do.
Yeah, I do. So anyway, Maxie, what do you think? It's going to be in like an Alita sequel. What do you think is a good chance? Because you seem to have a pretty good handle on, what.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've got my plans that I still need to get on with for my fanfic.
Yeah.
Which is on hiatus at the moment. I've still got this pile of reference material here that I've got to start digging into. And hopefully I can get over the hump of getting that started. And it's just one freaking chapter. I mean, I got to write a big motorball
Finale.
race.
Yeah.
No, it's not the finale. It's just the next race.
Okay.
It's basically going to be a modified version of what's in the manga, where she goes up against
Jashigan.
Crimson Wind.
Oh, Crimson Wind. Yes. Oh, yes.
Jashigan isn't in this race because, actually, no. Well, actually, you know, because you've read at least enough of that to know that Jashigan's not playing at the moment in my version of the second movie because he's off having his brain modified. Yeah,
that's right. Yep, he's on, as they would say in baseball, Major League Baseball vernacular, he's on the injured reserve list. So he's not active at this point. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, the reason I did that was because it's pretty obvious that he's not the godlike Emperor Jashigan that he is in the manga during the first movie. He's good, but he's not unbeatable. And basically, I wanted to sort of drag it back a little bit more to that. He's the unbeatable guy that Alita's got to go up against, and angle it more. along those lines. So, bringing back in the fact that his brain was shutting down because of that injury.
Yeah.
Having to do something about it, putting it in the movie rather than having it happen before she meets him. So,
yeah.
She fights him once to a standstill, and then he disappears for a while, and then he comes back, and well, I won't spoil anymore, but he's going to be a lot better than he was.
Yeah, I think what I really like that one, and I haven't been able to read any more, but I am going to read some more.
Creaky,
yeah, I know,
Jesus.
I know, and Angelus is ahead of me too, so I can't even shame him. But I do like the way you did that. When Alita and Joshigan, were competing in that one race, and it was basically a tie, I guess, and he invited her over to stand up on the winner's podium or whatever, not podium, but the winner's stand, with him, and she was kind of, I don't want to do that, kind of thing, So that was pretty cool, I thought, and well within the keeping of the manga, I guess. So.
Yeah, well, when you're it's a little bit more complicated than just retelling the manga because they've changed a lot of things. So the dynamic is different.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and work that in. And it's one of those things when you're borrowing a known IP that has more than one telling and you're trying to combine them. It's sort of like, baking a cake from two different recipes and you're trying to make it come out like a third thing, but reminiscent of both the other things. So
yeah,
it's a little bit on the tricksy side, but I feel like I'm doing a reasonably good job so far. But
I think so. Yeah,
it's been too many months since I released a chapter, and I've really sort of got caught up with this one chapter, and I've got to get past it because I've got other awesome races and things that Nova's doing in the background, and I've got to have things that happen in the manga start happening. So that builds the tension and everything. I'm looking forward to it. I just got to get past this one goddamn chapter. But yeah, I basically see that there's going to be lots of stuff that happens to sort of bring it back towards what's happening in the manga with the motorball. And one thing that you said was a little bit incorrect if you were talking about the manga, and that is that she never actually plays in the pro league in the manga. She plays in the second league. She goes from third league to second league. Yeah, and she's challenged, but she ends up winning through that. Yeah. But then she challenges Jashigan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I guess
and he says, bring 4 people with you because you're so pathetic, you need help. And she's like, right, I'm at you. And basically, he destroys all the other people she brought with her in like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it's just him and her.
That's right, because that's right, because her and Adjicutty competed for that number 99 in the manga, right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, now I remember.
So I had that in her first race in my fanfic. I put that into the first race. It was part of the first race. So
yeah, that's right. So yeah, cool.
Well, anyway, it's all about pulling themes from the manga and building the tension and making it coherent as its own story.
Yeah.
So that's why I've got scenes of Nova up in Zalem. So he's not just this man behind the scenes anymore. You're starting to see what he's up to, and you're starting to see that not everything is he's in control, but he's not totally in control. There's other forces working against him up there. So it's not as cut and dried as it feels in the first movie.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, there's the link to Maxie's Flanfic. You can just click on that and it'll take you right over there. Yeah, I mean, it's a good read. Everybody should read it. What Creaky has read has been very enjoyable. I've gotten through 7 chapters, I think. So, it's very enjoyable. And Cinesanity says, hey, what if they use the Flanfic for a sequel? Well, you know what? That's what Maxie's trying to do. He's trying to egg them on to do that sequel. So he's kind of giving them a good start, I think. So,
well, I've got too much already. I mean, I've got 57,000 words and I'm not through the first arc yet. So it would have to be a severely edited down version if they use my stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
But
still,
I have plans to move forward to bring in the Zerkapan arc across the end of the Motorball arc. So there's going to be a big showdown between Alita and Jashigan. And from that, things are going to happen. And in the middle of that, Zerkapan's going to show up. And I'm going to put in something that wasn't in any of the other tellings, because that's what sort of happened with the movie, that the first movie, that they put their own stuff in, like Nova being in charge of Zalem, which is not.
Yeah.
But I've also put things in there to bring things a little bit back towards the manga so that I can use it more directly. So it's interesting. It's worth a read if you like reading. If you're one of those people who just don't read, I'm attempting to getting around to recording a audiobook version.
Nice.
But, it's I just wish I had a voice that was more soothing.
There's nothing
more
wrong with your
audiobooky.
voice.
Where's that chalkboard?
Yeah, that's right. Well, no, everybody in the Elite Army knows your voice there, Maxie, so that's not going to be a problem, I don't think.
Oh, God, yes, I've forced it on everybody for nearly 2 years now, haven't I?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Ash Blackwind brings up an important point. He feels like the Badlands arc is going to be a little bit too much for the sequel. And, I kind of agree with him, because if you tried to stick the Zerkerpan arc, the Motorball arc, and just even some of that stuff as her being a civilian, and then try to go into the Badlands arc, you're talking about a 4-hour movie, and that is not going to fly. So,
Nope.
But if they did something like, maybe they did the Motorball arc, because that's where they ended, with her raising her Damascus blade to Zalem, to kind of threaten Nova or tell Nova, I'm coming for you, big boy. So and then kind of go that route, and then maybe hit the Zerkapan arc. One of the things they could do, though, is that at the very end of the sequel, they could show the beginning of what would be the Badlands arc, and that's kind of why I got that last bullet down there, because I think in a movie, even in the sequel, I think it would be a little too soon to bring Figure 4 and Chaos in, I think. Who knows? They probably, I guess Lita Calligridis said that they had seriously considered bringing Chaos in, when they were at that spaceship in the lake, but, they didn't, because they felt like it was too much themselves. So, but anyway, this is kind of what, I guess, some of the things that I think they could consider putting in the sequel. I know one thing I would love to see is Alita playing musical instruments in the Kansas bar. I mean, I'd love that. That would be great.
That's got to happen.
Yeah, I'd love that.
They can't avoid that scene.
Yes, because Rosa can sing. I mean, she can, so she can do it. I know she can do it. So, have her, play in the, well, I guess in the manga she was playing keyboards, wasn't she?
Yep.
Yeah, playing the key. She had like 2 or 3 keyboards there, and she could,
And then she played the guitar when she was giving Zapan the opportunity to take her out, and he couldn't do it because he was so.
When she was giving Zapan a schooling.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, what was it she said to him? Did you miss me, big boy? Or something like that. It was not that, but it was something like that. It's almost derisive, or it was derisive, actually, and of course she was in a civilian body when she said that to him too, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So she wasn't in
See,
that.
that's one part that's going to be difficult to sort of work in, because if you interleaving the start of the Zapan arc, which I am, into the Motorball, in between the Motorball, she's going to be in the Motorball body, unless I can think of a way to hot swap between the two. But
well, I think
maybe not.
Like in the Kansas bar, though, I mean, she can't be in the Motorball body all the time. We just lost Maxie, I guess. Or no, we lost Angelus. Yeah. Oh, I
No,
get you Aussies mixed up.
Yeah, fair enough. We're all handsome bastards, so I can understand that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I might be able to swing it. But if you notice during the motorball arc, she's in the motorball body all the time, even when she's out. So she doesn't have an alternate body to swap into there because they're pretty much broke. They're running on fumes. But might be able to swing something there. I'll see what
they could come up with something like in Ito's. Ito has a bunch of those bodies down there, I guess, those cyborg bodies, and he could pick one out for her when she says, well, I just can't be in this berserker body. It's just brings back too many bad memories of Hugo and all that stuff, and then they could kind of swap it out just when she's not playing motorball, and then kind of do like a locker scene, sort of. Where they put her back in the motorball body, and then she's back in the, I guess in the locker room with Ito or Ed. I guess it would have to be Ed, wouldn't it?
The hassle is that it took them so long to put her into the bodies in the first movie that there's going to have to be a decent amount of time between, matches or what have you, where she'd have a reason not to be in the motorball body. And the thing is, if she's playing motorball, she'd want to keep training. So she really need to stay in that body to keep training. She wouldn't want to get out of it.
So they they could do something then like swap her feet, I guess.
You haven't read that chapter yet.
No.
In the next chapter you're about to read, she swaps her feet over. She swaps.
Okay.
You need to keep reading, dude. Just get on with it.
Yes, sir.
It's not that hard. Just
I know. I know.
Read a chapter a night.
It's not hard. It's not a hard read. I mean, I think you have to pay attention when you're reading it. But it's not a hard read though. I mean, so everybody, just make sure, when go ahead and read that thing. I mean, it's an excellent read. I think Maxie, you've got a future as a novelist, I think. So anyway.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I get off my ass and write some more.
Yeah. So,
but actually, I'm doing a writing for sci-fi and fantasy course through Sydney Uni at the moment. It's just a short course, 6 weeks, but it's quite useful. I recently did an editing course as well, I've got like 3 new ideas for new stories, but I don't want to rush into those just yet because I want to keep on with this one. Because if you lose your momentum and you sort of your muse goes off a story, then you're kind of like stuffed and it ends up just sitting there. And this is a story that's very important to me, and I don't want to just dump it.
Cool.
The other problem is you have too many ideas. Like I've already spent too long on the first arc. I should have tried to finish it up now, but there's just too much to fit into it. I mean, you haven't even read Die Hard on a Train yet.
No.
The nearly 10,000 word chapter where Koyomi meets Shimira. So you need to get to that chapter.
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay. All right. Well, Lee,
you've read it 3 times.
Well, I've also referenced some of it for my own story a bit too. So.
Ooh.
Oh, cool. Are you writing a little bit of a fan novel yourself, Lee, in this area? And about Alita?
Well, Alita features in it. I'm a disabled vet, so I've got I had a story idea for someone who deals with mental illness in that world.
Okay.
And the main character is a man dealing with mental illness while also trying to survive in Alita's world.
Oh,
that would be harsh because Alita's world doesn't seem particularly friendly.
No.
But that's why I ended up sticking him with Dr. Ito and Alita, because they are key in helping him to survive.
Well, that's interesting. Boy, that's like an offshoot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very much not canon at all.
Yeah, well, no, I mean,
Lee, drop the link into the private chat in StreamYard, and then Creaky can drop it into the public chat.
Oh yeah,
so
once you do that,
try and do that. I am not tech savvy.
Well, all you need to do is go to a new window in Chrome or whatever you're using. Go to your story and then copy the URL and just paste it into the private chat next to the window that you're talking in now, the one for StreamYard.
Yeah, you see the private chat is one of those icons on the far right over there. You just click on that and then you put it in a post, and you post it, and then I'll pick it up, and then I'll put it out there for folks to read. So they'll have 2 fanfics to read. So,
Well, a word of warning, it is not as nearly as action-packed. It's mostly, this guy dealing with mental illness, so it's a bit more introspective.
Slice of life is always good. I mean, I've watched a lot of slice of life animes recently, and you actually can learn a lot from them. You don't always need a lot of action.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see if this works.
Okay.
I mean, it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you'll probably find a few people that are interested. And for all those people who are listening right now, if you read something on the internet that somebody's written, remember that, they're not getting this published. They're not getting, professional reviews or anything like that. But if you like it, spend a little bit of time and write a review of a chapter or leave them a message or something. Just let them know that you've read it and let them know that you liked it.
That's one of the biggest problems I've got right now is I'm pretty sure since my viewership dropped off that I may have gone off the rails a little bit in the recent chapters, but nobody's giving me any feedback, so I don't know what I might have done.
Yeah.
But don't just be, it's good. Tell them what you actually liked and what you didn't like, because we need some sort of feedback to know what's going on.
Oh, cool. I like this. I just took a look at it, so I'm going to put it in the public chat here. By the way, we just got joined by Den and Do Not Stand By.
How's it going, guys?
So don't expect Lee. Don't expect Creaky to read it anytime soon because he can't get to mine. What type has he got to get to yours?
Well, I'm just glad I've actually got some people who are interested enough to read it as it is. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, anything with Alita in it, the Creek will get to eventually.
I was just going to say, Alita doesn't actually appear in it until about chapter 5. The first 4 are just sort of establishing the main character and sort of his life in Iron City.
Oh, that would be interesting, though, I think.
Well, I'm hoping so.
Yeah. So how's it going, Dan?
Pretty good. How about you?
Sorry, really good. No problem. No problem. Yeah. And Do Not Stand By. What's happening with you? What's happening up there in Arvada?
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks. A lot of people contacting our neighborhood about the CNN story. So
nice.
Hopefully we get a lot of people interested in our neighborhood, and then I can direct them to the 3D movie theater showings for Alita outside. Hopefully we can get that started up again in spring of next year.
Cool. By the way, Do Not Stand By. We got 3 Coloradans on this, or as they say here, Coloradans. We got 3 Coloradans on the stream today. You and Lee Lemon and myself. So.
Very nice, Lee. You definitely have to come to my neighborhood to watch Alita Battle Angel in 3D outside.
Oh man, it's great.
Wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, and he's south of he's, as they say around here, Colo Spigs. He's south of Colorado Springs. So. But it sounds like I got somebody else I can invite now to the Denver branch of the Kansas bar, So, we can definitely. So, we'll be able to watch Alita on my big screen TV, and, I've got the, I guess the IMAX version, thanks to Maxie.
And certainly wouldn't mind.
Yeah, and then we can have a drink at the Kansas bar. So that'd be kind of cool, I think. And then of course invite Alita Rave too. He's up in Fort Collins. So gosh, we got 4 Coloradans.
Alita Rave's been very busy recently. I've been trying to get a hold of him for Radio Chaos, and he's like, "Sorry, I would really love to, but life's not being." Giving me the time at the moment, and I'm like, fair enough.
I've invited him to some of my streams too, or here. Then he is extremely busy. Well, a lot of times he travels on Friday, so he's kind of tough for him to get on. I know he's been on the stream a couple of times, but it's pretty tough for him to do anything over the weekend. He does a lot of traveling to go see his kids and stuff like that too, so it can be kind of tough for him. Okay, well, Den, what do you think? I remember Den had a stream, last year when, I guess Angelus and I had come on his stream, and he kind of assigned us homework, kind of like he was doing the thing that Maxie does to us, but he assigned homework to us about what we would think what would be in Alita 2 and 3. I don't know if you remember that stream or not, Den. That was a kind of a neat stream. And what do you
have Alzheimer's yet? But yeah, I did.
Yeah. Well, I don't have Alzheimer's either. So, but anyway, what do you think, Dan? What do you think we can expect to see in a Alita sequel? What do you think would be in that particular movie?
Well, I'm not very good at predicting people's behavior, but I can tell you what I want to see. And what I want to see would be basically what we get in the manga. Just so first of all, I think we've already had setups, allusions to Japan being the villain in the next film.
One of the villains. I mean, Nova's still a villain.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But the main villain, because Nova would be more orchestrating stuff. And my version, at least, he would be more orchestrating stuff, more behind the scenes until the final film.
Yep.
But with Japan being the main one, with Nova orchestrating Japan against Alita. So Alita, for most of the film, is going to think that Josh Ugan is going to be her major opponent for the film, but really that's just going to be the A plot, and then with the B plot, Japan's fall from grace. What I said on Twitter a couple of years ago was like a Joker style fall from grace. Of course, not that gritty because we're shooting for a PG-13, but something like that. You're seeing some of his plight, some of his downfalls. And by the way, that tweet I made was liked by Ed Screen himself. So I'm still
nice.
I'm still holding that as one of my crowning achievements.
But, nice.
Yes, that is nice. Well, Ed Skrein loved playing Japan, didn't he? I saw him in an interview. He said, "Man, I'd love to do that again."
Yeah.
I reckon he would get his teeth into Berserker Pan's something shocking. I reckon he just
that's what I'm hoping for.
That.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm hoping for. So it would be kind of like the A plot would be Alita having some kind of conflict with Ito and resolving it through her fight with Japan as the A plot of the first part of the movie, and then the B plot would be Japan's fall from grace. We see that happening in the background, and eventually their paths converge through Dog Guy because he has to come back. Everyone loved him. That was actually one of the most talked about parts of the first movie, by the way. And then finally those plots switch, with Japan becoming the A plot and the only plot. And from there, you get Berserk Japan and all that stuff. I'm not sure. I haven't resolved how he's going to get a Berserker body. Maybe you just get a different one, from Nova orchestrating that. And that'll be it. That'll be how it ends. And then from there, turns out Final Champion was just a ploy to get some of the best best fighters in Iron City into the Toon program somehow. Either maybe Nova's adjacent to that, or he's actually running it. I haven't figured out how that would work too. That's up for people like Max. Who think for a living. That's more or less what I think.
Cool. What about you? Do not stand by. What do you think? What would you like to see in a sequel?
Yeah, I agree with Dan. I think that'd be great if they followed the Motorball arc along with Japan's fall from grace. That would be awesome. I would be really happy if they could get those arcs into the next movie. Of course, that would mean that there wouldn't be enough time to do it in 3 movies. They need to do 4 or 5 movies to be able to get all the original.
That's terrible. Wouldn't that be a shame?
What a shame. Yes, what a shame. We need 5 movies. Oh, so bad. I love it. So I guess we have a consensus here though among all of us. All of us want to see the Berserker Pan art. We want to see Motorball. Well, Dan, you didn't mention Motorball. I guess you want to go into a lot of. Oh, the first part.
Yeah, okay. The first part of the movie is going to be the A plot. Would be Alita having some issues with Ito and Josh Ugan, and having some issues with Ito, and then thinking that Josh Ugan is her main protagonist, and kind of how I wanted it to be. Was that spoilers somewhat for the manga is that Ito dies before completely resolving his issues with Alita. I actually wrote this out like over a year ago, and I'm trying to go off of memory right now about what I wrote. I was drunk too, so I don't really exactly remember. But
You brought
Go
that
ahead.
up in the stream that you and I and Angelus did. I think you
Yeah.
did. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I was actually going to make an entire video on this and then a third film, which is going to be complete speculation because the second film will go off of what we saw in the first film and
Yeah.
what they threw out of the manga and what they kept from the manga, kind of like going on, trying to see what they'll do on that same path. Whereas the third film will be speculation. These were going to be videos. I am done making videos for a long time. So,
Dan,
Not
I
gonna be
like
done.
your videos, man. You ought to at least put one out every now and then, man.
I've got the one coming out probably tomorrow. It's done. I just got to fix one audio error, but other than that, it's done. It's probably coming out tomorrow, most likely.
Okay.
Work on that tonight. So, but other than that, but yeah, these are going to be videos. I'd written all this out, and but yeah, this is going off memory. Y'all go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, well, I kind of hate you're not going to do videos. I mean, I go to even your old channels. Well, your new channel's only got one video on it. It's only like 50 seconds. So, but I like going to your old channel and looking at some of those videos. They're pretty nice. So
I might just release old videos. You know what I mean, like 4K versions and stuff like that. And
yeah. Yeah, I got some videos on my channel that were not 4K that I'm going to remake them, 4K and then release them, because I think it looks nicer, if it's 4K videos.
Oh yeah.
Or IMAX.
Plus,
yeah.
I got the new laptop that renders 4K so much quicker than the old one. Like the old one, I would literally be sitting there for like 5-6 hours only for like one error to fuck it all up. You know what I mean? And that is very, very annoying to spend all that time just have to start again. This one,
I remember sitting there waiting for your premiere, and it ended up being like 3 days late because you couldn't get it to render properly.
Yeah, like those hangups were seriously bad. Just like it was mostly those animations too. Those little animations really would fuck up my computer, like completely crash it, like blue screen of death kind of shit. And then you it was bad. It was so bad on that old laptop, but this new laptop is a fucking dream in comparison.
Yeah, I think I told you a couple of weeks ago, I actually saved one of your videos on my YouTube page, that one about Alita's love life,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that video. I saved it, where she's, whether she should go with movie Hugo, manga Hugo, I guess Chaos, or who was the other one?
It was Chaos,
Figure four. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Figure four won out, which I loved. So
that one,
that
video was a video I had a lot of problems with, and when it comes to rendering and shit like that. Yeah. And that one was also late. Like that one was 6-7 hours late because of the fucking render issues. And when I watch that one now, I see all the things that I could have fixed but didn't have time to. You're gonna notice. I think you're gonna notice a jump in quality when it comes to this next video. There's a lot more of these little animations and stuff, and it just looks so much better just because this laptop is so much easier to use.
Cool. And I noticed that Dizzy's out there. What's rendering, Dizzy? That's when you have an app, a video app, editing app, that it actually exports the video into MP4 or some similar for AVI or some similar format, so when you do a video, you can't work with it in MP4. It has like project files or something like that, and you put that together and then you render it or export it, depends on which, and different apps call it different things, but once you do that, then it saves it in that format. You can play with say a media player or real player or something like that. So anyway,
and it can take a long time. And
yeah.
If you notice one error, like you be halfway through a render and notice an error, and you're just like, "Fuck,
damn it,
I gotta start all over again."
Well, I got a pretty fast computer. I got a quad core. I just got I guess it's an Intel thing, and I put it. I went and bought a desktop. Because I think laptops sometimes lack the memory, and even on mine when I'm exporting or rendering a video, it'll crash sometimes, or if I'm just doing editing, it'll crash because it runs out of memory. You know, even though I got
Yeah.
32 gigs of memory, it
You're
still
probably not
crashes.
putting all that memory to use. It's probably
Well, that's just it. You know, I mean, and of course, sometimes I'll forget, I'm running Dropbox and Discord and all that shit on mine, and it takes up all that memory, so I
got 24 gigs of memory, and I don't
Yeah.
even get to using that much. And I've been running like Halo Infinite and Arma 3 and rendering 4K videos and all kinds of effects, and I don't even get close to using all 24 gigs of memory. I got a gaming laptop now, and that's really what put me over some video game stuff.
Yeah, Dizzy's got a good point there. Quad cores are, well, I mean, my computer is a new computer, the one I have. I got an old quad core, that I actually put together, I guess, back in 2012 or something like that. I used to do videos on that, and it took forever. It's kind of like what you were saying there, Dan.
Yeah.
But this new it's an Acer, I guess, and it's fast. But the only thing is it's not a gaming system. And I guess I could upgrade it. I could put a really good graphics card and stuff like that in it, but I don't know. One of the other problems too that you have with rendering is like with YouTube, your videos can't be over 15 minutes long, those that you upload. Now, if you stream like this, it doesn't matter. It can be hours long, which it usually is when Creaky's stream, or if he's doing something on Radio Chaos, it's usually 3 or 4 hours, isn't it, Maxie?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Wait, hold on. I got videos longer than 15 minutes.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, the last one.
I'll have to check that out because I've been
maybe
ahead.
You need to verify it, because I remember YouTube is always changing every year, and every time I made a different account, there's always been some sort of stupid restriction on new accounts. But maybe you need to verify or something like that. You just go check, and there's probably a setting you didn't switch. You know what I mean? Like verify your email or something like that. That will allow you to upload longer than 15 minutes. Yeah.
And Sin of Sanity, I'm not sure why the system crashes. I mean, the video editor I use is a free one. It's OpenShot,
Well,
and
the free ones often have memory leaks, and
Yeah.
they can just chew up all the memory and then crash.
Yeah. And it doesn't
You use
give
video
you
pad, right?
I do use video pads sometimes, but mostly I use OpenShot,
Okay. Because video pad's not bad. It renders slower because it doesn't allow you to use your graphics card. So the one I use now allows me to like use my graphics card as well as, because I got two of them. I got the Intel, I got the Nvidia, and it allows me to like use the one of my choice. So that one renders quicker. But video pad served me well throughout all of my YouTube videos.
But you use Vegas now, don't you?
I use Vegas now, yeah. But all of my old stuff, like back when I actually had like a channel that had some sort of subscribership back in the day, that was all video pad.
Yeah,
and
my brother
used
well. Yeah, my brother uses Vegas. He loves it, So anyway, we're way off of Alita now. So let me bring it back to our girl, So, but any other thoughts about, I think we all agree on what we think we would like to see in Alita 2. I think, I know I would like to at least see them beginning the Badlands arc. I mean, they won't be able to go through it because it'll just be way too much, particularly if they do the Zerker-Pan arc and they do the Motorball. If they do those two things, that's probably going to take 3 hours. Those two guys for sure, and that's with them editing it down.
So how I had it was mine a 3.5 hour. I'm just kidding. No, a 3 hour movie, up to 3 hours, and with it ending with the shot of her on the train. Going over the Yellow Door chapter.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Her on the train, and through Figure 4's perspective, by the way, as far as we know, she's dead, and then Figure's gonna see her last 5 minutes of the movie, and then I'll introduce a new character. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Well, that echoes the end of the first movie, because at the end of the first movie they introduced Nova as not just a voice coming out of other people, but they actually showed him. But you didn't find out anything about him, and it was the Hook.
Yeah.
And I feel that they could use Figure 4 in the same way. That scene on the top of the train at sunset.
Yeah.
They could do that as the Hook, and the last line would be him introducing himself. My name's Figure 4. And the fans would just go bonkers.
Yeah,
and everybody else would be like, what?
Especially if she was playing that harmonica,
Yeah.
that would be the coolest damn thing in movies, I think.
Why is she
So-
dressed like a fucking Spartan from Halo? Like, what's going on with the leader? She looks like
Yeah.
fucking badass now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
she's
and
the
she's
angel
got that
Big-ass
massive
rifle.
gun on her back, and it's like a gun. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So in that tuned body too, that'd be great, So yeah, for sure.
That's
Okay.
definitely
That's where I'd end it.
I think that'll because the ending of the original film that we got in 2019 that already had a lot of like fucking uproar, both bad and good. Some people were mad at it, kind of calling it a cliffhanger. Other people were like, "Oh my god, I need to see more." That ending that we just discussed right there would double that.
Yes.
Double down.
In my opinion, that would double.
You got to
that
double
reaction.
down. You can't just pull back. You got to double down.
I completely agree.
I'm responding to something here. Okay. Well, anyway, that's I guess I think we're all in consensus then. I think we all want to see a similar thing in the sequel. In the third movie, and I stopped here at the third because the Creek wants to see as many movies as they'll put out, because they certainly have more than enough material to do this. But I would like to see those Imaginos bodies. That's especially that cat Lita body. I'd love to see that body with that tail, but I don't know if they'll be able to get to it, in the third movie. They might have to do that in the fourth movie or something like that. But of course, as we mentioned at the end there of Alita 2, if they do that train scene, where she meets Figure 4, her being a tuned agent, that would be kind of cool. I mean, it'd be almost like watching a James Bond flick in a way, wouldn't it? So, I guess that's a subject for a future stream, I guess. But anyway, and then of course, there's a lot of things you can do with it. I'm not sure they could go into all of this in Alita 3. But her going up to Zalem or Jeru, and of course meeting Karula and all this good stuff, and then of course finding Nova and doing what she's got to do to him, and then that zenith of all things. Now that's not going to be in the third movie. That's going to have to be in Alita 5 or 6, But I thought I'd throw it out here, just in case, something to give us something to talk about. So Lee, I don't know if you fixed your audio problem yet. I don't know if you, what do you think you would like to see in Alita 3?
I think at this point, I'd just like to see an Alita 3.
Yes, yes, indeed. What about it, Maxie? What do you think?
Oh, Alita 3 would be the tuned arc Ouroboros, bringing down Nova, and getting to Zalem, I suspect.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
I think they'd have to change the end of it, because I think the baby bomb would be like, what?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Max, do you think you'd follow more of the original manga than going into Last Order's version of things? Because the way I would like to see it was kind of incorporating some of Last Order's versions, like how she fell to Earth. I like that version a little bit better, but kind of more the structure of the original one, not spending too much of the film in Zalem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, the Zalem would be like right at the end, like the last 20 minutes tops.
Yeah. It'd be kind of neat to see how Zalem, the Earth's Defense Force, how they captured her, and I guess Gelda, how they almost said Zelda. I was thinking of something else.
Zelda's a waifu too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she is. But anyway, yeah. Dan, I love it when you come on. We always talk about waifus. I always love that. But anyway, yeah, how they captured Gelda and Alita, and what goes on there, So with that one, because they were the only two left of their whole squad or platoon or whatever, that after the supply tube got cut in half, by that defense ring, and how they got them, But anyway, that would be kind of a cool thing. Do Not Stand By. What do you think? Or did I ask you already, Dan? I might have asked you, but I guess we'll go with Do Not Stand By, and I'll come back to you, Dan. What do you think you would like to see in Alita 3?
Yeah, I'm fine with them changing some things from the manga, since there wasn't the scene with Gelda and Alita going up to two. This
Yeah,
could be something new that they could write and really make it thematically powerful, kind of like some of the things that they added in the first movie that weren't in the manga. And, yeah, I think that would be a great opportunity to be able to close that mystery of how Alita ended up in the junkyard. Um,
yeah,
yeah, and I'm also I think it'd be great to have her get the Imaginos body and Alita
yeah,
3, but it could
yeah,
be a different story from manga, just like they did a different story of how she found her own body rather than Ito just having it in the closet. I
yes.
think that's a change that they could do in Alita 3 that would be better than the manga.
Yeah, I'd love to see her in that. I like them to take it slow because if they do that, that means more movies. But in that Imaginos 1.0 body, I'd like to see that. That'd be the coolest thing. And then of course they could go to the Imaginos 2.0 body eventually, and then go to 2.1 in the Zot. If they wanted to do that, that's kind of what I'd like to see. I agree with Maxie that baby bomb thing is going to be a little bit of a. I mean, I guess it'd be a good twist at the end of I guess Alita 2 would have to be, or somewhere between that and where she gets into the, like she did in the last order before she gets the Imaginos body, I guess, but I definitely want to see her in those Imaginos bodies for sure, and I guess they could, now you wouldn't see this in Alita 3, but you would see it in an Alita, one of the 4, 5, or 6 or 7, whatever it wanted to be. When Creaky's 94 years old, it'd be Alita 10 maybe. But anyway, but I would love to see her in that Imaginos 2.1 body. That'd be the greatest thing ever in my book. So, but what do you think, Dan? I don't know if I went to you or not and asked. I might have cut you off. So if I did, I'm sorry about that. So
For a third movie,
Yeah.
like I said, I completely went off the rails. I don't remember at all what I had written down, but I kind of like the idea of what it was, so I couldn't really tell you here. But what I would like to see is actually, I think what I did was I completely didn't use elements of the Badlands and just went into a whole bunch of other shit with the clones. I don't fucking remember, but whatever. I just know I want to see Alita in her tuned form, and I would like to see the Imaginos as it was in the original manga. And the reason why I say that over the other Imaginos is because that one kind of has this it was at the end of the original manga, and it kind of has this strange pureness to it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Her facial stuff is removed and all that stuff, so it kind of gives her like this, like at the end of the movie where instead of wearing black, the hero's now wearing white, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing, that kind of vibe right there. So,
you mean like before the retcon, right?
Yeah, before the retcon, from the original manga. So if we're just gonna have Zalem at the end and it doesn't get its own film going into the Zot and all that stuff, and I think that using the original manga's version of things with some things from Last Order put into it, kind of like what they did with the original film, would be the way to go. And like I said, I like the version of her how she came to Earth in Last Order a lot better. I would like to see some of that in there. And the whole film doesn't have to be in the Badlands. You know what I mean? You could do all kinds of shit with it. You can have half of the movie in Zalem. I don't know. I really don't remember what I wrote, but I'm the worst person to ask about that.
Well, I know in the Last Order, she spent a good period of time in Zalem, didn't she? In terms of looking for, gosh, it's been so long since I've read
Lou?
it. And then, looking for Lou. That's right. And then going up to Jeru after that, I guess.
Yeah.
That, gosh almighty, there's some more movies there. So, just
there's a whole miniseries. There's a whole anime they can do. And that's why I keep harping on the anime, because I'm not saying I don't want to see a movie. Yes, I want to see the next two films, which is why I spent so much time writing what I think we would see in them. but I really, really would be super enthusiastic about a well done anime from Japan. I really don't want to see Kevin Smith touch this fucking shit, or whoever made Cowboy Bebop. Stay fucking far away from it, okay? A well-made anime faithful to the manga, because the thing about it is the films are looking for a general audience, which is why they're PG-13. You know, same thing done with horror movies. You know, you want the teenagers to come in on Friday night, but an anime can go all the way with, you know, with the shit that Kishiro put in there. You know what I mean? I was catching up on the latest Mars Chronicles chapters, and I'm like, man, this looks a lot like fucking Malignant. Like I said, that Kishiro, that would be a movie that Kishiro would have made if he had an unlimited budget and was able to do whatever he wanted. This looks a lot like fucking Malignant. Like, this is not something that you would see in a PG-13 film. And I would just love to see that in an anime.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're going to talk about the series, I guess, on the next slide, you know, but yeah, I agree with you. That'd be great. You know, I kind of like that. Well, I like all three of the Imaginos bodies, you know, I mean, because they're so powerful, I guess, and maybe that's what attracts me to it a lot, you know, but yeah, all three of those bodies are just insanely OP, you know, and I, you know, it's going to be a challenge for the writers, because I know in superhero movies, you get an OP, you know, superhero, and they don't know what to do with them. You know, they, you know, it's like
Superman
the Flash.
And Dragon Ball.
Well,
Superman
yeah,
and
they
Dragon Ball handle it really well.
Oh,
they
yeah,
just make
they
the
do.
OP character disappear for like half of the fucking series and then come out at the end. You know what I mean? And if you look at Last Order, Alita's gone for a lot of it. Like, she's not the main focus for a lot of chapters in that manga. You know what I mean? So I think that'll work just fine.
Yeah, and the fact too that Karula is a vampire. You know, I love vampire movies. I really love those Blade movies. You know, they're pretty good. You know, I mean, I enjoy them a lot. And you know,
Wesley Snipes is cool.
Yeah. Well, you know, I guess you know, you know, gosh, the guy that played Vector 9, his name is escaping me.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali. Yeah, he's supposed to be in the new Blade movie, and I'm
is Blade.
Yeah, I want to see him jacked, you know. But he's been in a movie where he's been jacked before. He was in that movie Predators, you know, with you know, they had several. Yeah, he was in that movie, and he was big. You know, I mean, he wasn't fat. I mean, he was, you know, he was looked like he was power lifter big. You know, to me, you know, he played a mercenary and stuff like that. You know, with Adrian Brody, and I guess there was a couple. I can't remember the name of the woman now, but you know, and there was several others. I think, oh gosh, Danny Trejo was in it, and, you know, some others.
Yeah,
and, that was a good movie, I thought. And Mahershala Ali, he was a big guy, man. I mean, he looked strong too, you know. So he can definitely pull that off, I think. You know,
I'm just curious, because Wesley Snipes has that 90s action like camp to him, you know what I mean, that I really like, that works really well in a comic book movie, because it's not like the Marvel snark that you see now. That's just, I don't know. I'll get into that another time, but there's just, like, you know, something like you saw with Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man. Plus, Wesley Snipes is a legitimate martial artist, and he makes some of these action scenes look really good. Like, look at Demolition Man again. I'll bring that up again. I made my wife watch that recently. I'll have to see how he fills the shoes, but he is a good actor. I did like him as Vector.
Well, you know, I think Wesley Snipes is like a 5th degree black belt. I think, I'm not sure, but
he was supposed to fight Joe Rogan in a kickboxing match a long time ago. I think Joe Rogan would have won, but
I don't know.
Dude, Joe Rogan's a fucking monster.
Yeah, he's pretty. Yeah, he is. He's pretty badass, but I don't know. You know.
No, he's not bad. Joe Rogan's a monster. Like, he's a fucking beast. But I was gonna say something else. I forgot. Oh no, I would like to say this. I would like to see Mahershala Ali return for the Alita sequels.
Yes,
it can be done, because people die and come back all the time in the Alita manga, just like they do in Dragon Ball. Like, it's like a rite of passage to die in the Alita manga. So at least once. So I would like to see Vector come back and fulfill his role the same way he did kind of in Last Order. You know what I mean? Kind of being that, like, that capitalist kind of, you know what I mean? I really like that, how they used him in Last Order, you know, especially after Alita does a Declaration of Independence kind of thing. That shit was cool. So bring Vector back.
Well, the thing of that, I'd like to see how he would do if they put him in a wheelchair, you know, kind of like they did, in the manga. It'd be kind of neat, to see, because I mean, it'd be neat to see him play Blade, and then the next movie with Alita, he's not.
Yeah, see, that way he can do the
He
movies
can
at the
do
same
it.
time. He can do a bunch of stunts with Blade and then heal up in the wheelchair as Vector. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Recover.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that'd be the coolest thing ever, Yeah, I really like him, and I think we'll see. I think we'll see
Vector
Shireen.
Well,
Go
what
ahead.
you got to think about is Vector lost most of his threatening sort of position at the end of the first movie. He went from, the guy who was pulling all the strings and trying to get her killed to this guy cowering in the corner going, "Don't kill me, don't kill me."
Yeah.
So,
But see,
I mean,
not as a threat, though. Bring him back as kind of like the neutral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like how he's in the manga. Because in the manga, he's not really a villain. He just kind of like, is just neutral, more or less, in my mind. He's just a capitalist. He's like, whatever's going to make me money and give me power, that's what I'm going to do. And you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like how I want to see him come back. So not as a threat, but just kind of maybe kind of on Alita's side. Like, they kind of have similar goals, to free the scrapyard. But I guess that's more or less order stuff. So I don't know how that would fit in, but I would love to see him come back.
Yeah, one thing Ash Blackwind just brought up is that Disney, they may be having some financial challenges, and maybe this could be their out. This could be their out. Using Alita. I mean, coming up with a series and some movies and stuff like that. And certainly merch. I mean, this could be their saving grace if they would just act on it, I think. Yeah, what do you think? Do Not Stand By. Is that kind of in line with what you think about what should be in these movies? Because this is not limited to Alita 3, obviously. We've kind of gone, into Alita 7. And that's all right. I'm okay with that.
I have confidence in Lita Kalogridis. I'm happy with the changes that she made in the manga so far. I'm fine with her having some creative freedom to do some things to make the movie story even more powerful than the manga. So I'm good with the third movie deviating somewhat from the manga, and maybe going even a different path than both Last Order and the original 9 volumes.
Yeah, as long as they stay true to the spirit, that's the main thing. I mean, they got to make changes. They have to do it. For one thing, if you were to actually put movies together that mirrored the manga, it'd be like 20 movies. You just couldn't do it. So you just have to. I mean, nobody's going to make 20 movies. Although I guess Star Wars is well on the way, isn't it? So, but
I agree with that take. You know what I mean? You can have some, and that's why I really want an anime. You know what I mean? I would like to have different verses of Alita. You know what I mean? Different cinematic verses or whatever you call it. You know what I mean? So there's just a lot of material out there to enjoy. And if you don't enjoy the gritty nature of the manga or the anime, then you can go watch the film series. And then, if you want to experience one type of game, you got your multiplayer motorball game, and then you can go to your RPG game that kind of goes on its own story, just like Martial Memory did. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to have different, diverse ways to experience this franchise. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah. We, I think in one stream we even talked about if Robert Rodriguez for some reason couldn't do Alita, which he does definitely want to do Alita, because he's going to go to Disney and say, "Hey guys, come on, let's do another one." After Boba Fett next month, becomes a success. But I just think that if he can't do it for some reason, I've conjectured that maybe Rob Zombie would be somebody that might, because he would make it dark like the manga. You know what I mean? Now it wouldn't be PG-13, obviously.
No,
so
I say not Rob Zombie. I say we go to Robert Rodriguez. If you want a dark Alita, Robert Rodriguez, old friend Quentin Tarantino, because Quentin Tarantino likes anime and manga, and they've worked together before and shit that. Because, like I said, the Alita franchise kind of touches on everything. Like, there's vampires and war and fucking all kinds of shit in there. There's Halo shit, like there's everything. There's a little Dragon Ball, everything. So I think Quentin Tarantino would be perfect for it. I mean,
Oh,
just
I do
watch
too.
Dusk
Yeah.
Till Dawn. You know,
Yes.
a Quentin Rodriguez collaboration on an R-rated Alita project would be fucking fun to me. I would love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be. I love that from Dusk Till Dawn. That because I like vampires. You know, I guess that's the main thing for me. You know, and it was kind of a neat thing. I like that Cheech Marin had two parts in that too. That was funny. You know, that was really kind of cool. You know, so
After we first saw Alita Battle Angel, I had to show my wife that movie because she had no idea. I don't think she even. I think what it was she didn't really know who Robert Rodriguez was outside of Spy Kids.
yeah,
And so I was like, oh, come watch Dusk Till Dawn then. So after we saw Alita, we went and watched Dusk Till Dawn, and she liked that movie a lot.
yeah.
I like the final scene, where they're panning back and
Yes.
there's all the trucks parked there, and the trash pile out the back, and it turns out it's a friggin' step pyramid. It's like,
Yes.
oh, you've only seen the top level. You're so
Yeah.
fucked.
And it's got all them damn skulls and all that shit in there. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that was great. You know. Yeah,
You know, it's good to have vampires that aren't based in, you know, from Dracula. Having Mayan vampires, which makes a lot of sense because they had a blood-soaked culture.
Yeah.
So it would attract, you know, creatures that fed on blood. So it makes a lot of sense.
Well, it'd be like Karula. You know, Karula's a vampire. So I mean, and she's old. You know, I mean, she's older than Creaky.
Is that possible?
Well, I'm not sure she's older than me. Wait, I got to think about that. But anyway, but no, that'd be the coolest thing if they worked a vampire arc of sorts or a mini arc. You know, with Karula in it, you know, and maybe even with a flashback of her in Victor, not Vector, but Victor, you know, the guy that she was kind of chumming around with there for a while. She ended up killing him, I think, in the manga, from what I remember. But anyway,
Victor Byron.
Yeah.
All that stuff was actually really cool, especially that scene
was.
where she pukes up her reproductive system. That was a little bit metal.
that one right there. I had those were mental images I didn't need to see or hear about.
Kishiro has no chill. Like, that guy does not give a fuck. He'll put anything in his manga. Like,
now they wouldn't be able to put that in the movie.
No.
Hell no. But that was quite shocking. Actually, I think was the word I would choose to use it. But Ash Blackwin, I'm not sure Tarantino retired. Did he? Dan, you brought up?
He was talking about he only had one or two more movies that he wanted to make, and then he was going to retire. He was trying to get an R-rated Star Trek movie off the ground, but it didn't happen yet. So I don't think he's retired, but he's talked about it.
Yeah. Well, he could probably do an R-rated Alita if Rob Rod doesn't want it, if he can't do it for some reason. So
Rob Rod will make the time.
Yes,
Alita
he will.
is his best performing movie that he's ever made. Of course he wants to make a sequel.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I think that you can't disconnect Alita from Robert Rodriguez if you're going to put Quentin Tarantino in it. Like, if it's that would have to be like their next collaboration right there. Would be an R-rated Alita movie. Like, that's just too perfect. It writes itself. Yeah, especially when you look at what the Zapan arc is.
Yes.
And Motorball. It's pretty violent, you know?
Yeah. Well, they could clean up the Motorball thing. They could do that kind of like they did in the movie, you know. But yeah, the Zapan arc, they could go off the end with that one, you know, for sure. So anyway, guys, I put the link to the chat back out there, so you know, or the link to the stream back in the chat. So if you want to jump on with us, you can.
Hey, Creaky, didn't you do a video recently with the song Dragula from Rob Zombie with images?
Yes, I
did.
I'd
love to see Motorball played with that playing in the background.
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat. Yeah, I kind of didn't think about it, you know, and then all of a sudden I heard Dragula, you know, I guess I saw it on YouTube and played it, and I went, oh my God, that'd be great with Motorball. So I put together that video right there, you know. Because sometimes you get to the point when you do these videos, coming up with ideas, you know, can when you got all these videos and you don't want to repeat anything, and you go, gosh, what can I do now? And then I was just happened to be playing, I think it was like a playlist or something like that. And Rob Zombie came up and went, oh my God. So I think on the Radio Chaos stream last week, I said I was really proud of that video, which I am. That was, I kind of enjoyed putting that together, and I've watched it like 3 times because I just love the song, for one thing. Of course, anything with Alita, I'm going to love it, that's a good question, Alejandro. How does Alita compare with Celine from Underworld? That's, that
Kate
actress.
Beckinsale is hot.
Yeah. Oh, yes, she is.
That's all I know about Underworld. Like, she is insane.
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale. Oh yeah, she's a hottie, that's for sure. How does she compare? Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I think they're both great fighters. I guess you could put it like that, but they're totally different characters. Celine's a vampire and Alita's a cyborg. So, I'm not sure how much comparison there is between them, but
a cyborg, an anti-cyborg martial artist, and a V mutant walk into a bar.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The Kansas bar.
Yeah. The Denver branch of the Kansas bar. Yeah. Yeah, they both look hot in leather. Yeah, they do. They definitely do.
You've got Kate Beckinsale on one side. You've got Rosa Salazar on the other side, and you've got oh God, what's his name? Neo in the middle.
Yes.
And they walk into your bar.
Yes. Yeah, I'll take yeah, Rosa can walk into the Denver branch of the Kansas bar. I wouldn't mind that. So
and Kate Beckinsale at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. I'd take Kate Beckinsale too. Absolutely. Not a problem. Yeah. Yeah, but I think it'd be neat if they worked Karula. Now she'd have to be in I guess she could be in the third Alita 3, I guess. I mean, it depends on how they put together the arcs and all that stuff, how they wrote the stories, Well,
Karula is one of those behind the scenes type of people where, I mean, in the manga, we're first introduced to her when she's fighting for the Stellar Nursery Society, but she was creeping around in the background before that. They could just bring something like that in, like an unknown woman in a cowl, stops Alita and says, something important, drops a bit of foreshadowing, and Alita's like, I never even saw her coming.
Yeah.
I couldn't pick her up. She made no noise whatsoever. What the hell? Who is this person? She's not a cyborg. What is she?
Yeah, yeah. I would like to say with Alejandro, I don't know if Greeks like that picture a lot, but I do know the Creek likes it, so I know that. So, so anyway, yeah, that'd be and I guess John Hoot says that babes in black leather are his weakness. Oh, I can.
So he's allergic to babes in black leather, hey?
I'm not. So anyway, and we'll leave that where it is. So, so what do y'all think about the Zot? Do not stand by. I mean, I know we've talked about that a little bit too. What do you think about the Zot? What movie? That'd have to be in like a later movie, I think.
I kind of feel like the first arc of Alita is good for movies. Certainly, we could have 3 or 4 to get through the whole story, and it could set up leading into an anime for the Zot, because I think the Zot reminds me a lot of Dragon Ball. And I think that if you ran the Zot as a really good anime, like that 2D, 3D combo art style with the really bright eyes and the different colored hair and everything, and got it done in Japan, got it done well. Yeah. The Zot could be just a fantastic anime, and it could really draw people. I mean, obviously in Japan it would be, on late night TV, and it would be, pretty high rate, maybe R18 plus, who knows? But Then, when it comes to America, it could be on Disney Plus's mature section, and the movies would then lead into that. And I think that would be really good. Like, you could have 4 or 5 seasons of the Zot, because there's so much detail in it and all the stuff going on in the background.
Yeah.
I reckon they could do a really, really good job of it.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Zot. But what do you think? Do Not Stand By. What about the Zot with you? What is that?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Zot probably is better lending itself to an anime series, especially since a lot of it is not about Alita. I prefer the movie series to be having Alita as the focal point for all the movies. And maybe one idea is like with Last Order, there's an Alita that still has her brain, and then an Alita that's got a chip. Have the Alita with the chip go through the Zot, and the Alita with the brain go through another television series where they go 2 alternate paths. At some point, they meet each other again, and that way Rosa can play the Alita with the brain, and also have the anime be a different version of Alita, and have Rosa voice her in the anime.
Nice. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, because there is 2 Alitas in there at the end of the Last Order.
And if Rosa doesn't voice her, I would really like to throw up Meredith McCoy, who does Android 18. I just think that she's perfect, and I stand her. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I agree.
You're allowed.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
She looks like Android 18, kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
I like that. The blonde hair and the bright blue eyes and all that. She stays in shape. Does CrossFit. I mean, and I think she does. I use her for the Alita voices in my little clips that I do in my video.
Agree.
So I think she's perfect.
Yeah, I do too. I think she'd be great for a voiceover.
And she kind of sounds like Rosa. The thing that the Android 18 you're hearing isn't the Android 18 I'm talking about. It's a different voice actress. So she does kind of sound like Rosa. You're hearing the Kai version, but there's a different actress who normally plays her. Yeah, who normally plays her. Yeah, she does sound like Rosa a little bit. So, just throw that out there, guys.
Cool. Well, Lee Lemon, what do you think? What do you have a preference here for Alita 3 or Alita 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9?
I think I like Do Not Stand By's idea.
Yes. Yeah, have 2. You could branch it off 2 ways. Boy, Disney could make some money if they did that.
Yeah. Plus, it's more Alita.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if when they do finally end the franchise, this needs to be way in the future, by the way. I think what I would like is to see. Now, I know this is going to sound corny to you guys, but I'd like to see Alita get a happy ending. I mean, that's just my thing. I mean, since she is kind of like my niece, So anyway, I would like to see her, in Figure 4, and then maybe have a little bit of a slice of life segment, in the last movie or something like that. I think that'd be really neat. That'd be Alita with a human brain and not the chip, I guess. So not the other Alita, but the human Alita. So
all I can say is that the entire sex army will be there for the Zot.
Yes.
When Zex shows up in that movie theater to fight Alita because he thinks that he's got to beat her to prove himself, that will go fucking down in history.
Yes. Yes. Oh, John says, yeah, we need an Alita Infinity. That would be a lot of movies there, John. So, yeah, I guess the Creek would be all right, with that. I mean, yeah, I would be all right with that. I don't care how many movies they make, as long as they tell the story that's true to the manga and spirit. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a carbon copy of it. It can just be just as long as it, stays with the manga mostly. I think I've said that as long as I've been streaming or even on Den Stream. I think, I've always said that as long as they stay faithful to manga, I'm good with it, so.
I would say it'd be better. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so we need Alita 2 in 2024, 25, somewhere around there. And then we need Alita 3 in 26, Alita 4 in 27, and the anime needs to start in 28 because Kashiro's not a young man, and neither am I, and neither's Creaky. So we need to get on with it.
The anime has to run concurrently with the films to tie us over during the movies, and it's going to be its own universe too. So it's not going to spoil the movies.
If you say so.
Okay,
yeah,
I can live. I can live with that.
And that's why I think that the anime should stick close to the manga, and the film can kind of do its own thing, like it's already kind of doing. You know what I mean? And the film kind of like has its own little verse, and then the anime, runs during the whole time like anime does. And that one sticks more to the manga,
Yeah. By the
way, I
way,
want you guys to live the experiences with me, okay? Y'all motherfuckers is old, okay?
The good thing is that a lot of animes take, like 5 years before you get season 3 because they ran out of material and they got to wait for the light novels and the manga to come out. Kashiro's got 30 years backed up there, man. There's no shortage.
It's like they're not going to have to delay that at all. They're not going to have to.
Get the hell on with it.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, Alejandro Camago says, how did Lita get that sexy black leather outfit she had? And I think in the novelization, it's Gearhead, she was about to go out and she says, not dressed like that, you're not, because also in the novelization, she just had panties on, I think, didn't she? If I remember correctly, Maxie, I'm not sure, but
yeah, I think she just had underwear.
Yeah, that's right. So, they, I guess they had, that outfit, somewhere downstairs, with all those bodies, I guess, so. But of course, Alita's my niece, so I can't, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna lick my chops on that one, So anyway.
you need some of that V virus.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, I guess we're all in agreement here. I mean, I don't know how we could not be in agreement. There's so much at all because there's so much material, in the manga, in all 3 versions of it that we all want to see it. So I think we're all in consensus on that. So it's just a matter of how many movies it's going to take them to do that, So anyway, I guess if Robert Rodriguez ever sees this stream, I hope he knows that we're behind him. We want him to make as many of these movies as he can, So
I know that he's a busy guy, but I would like at least one of his subordinates to be keeping up with us, really. I mean, it would make sense to keep up with the fans.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. It sure
I mean,
would.
how many hours do you reckon we've put into these live streams by now?
Oh, hell. I don't know. Yeah.
150 hours?
Well, I think you put in a lot more than I have, that's for sure.
Much to my wife's disgust, but anyway.
Well, it is what it is. So, yeah, but I know I've put in some hours, and you know what? It's not this is not a drudgery for me. I love doing this.
Not a chore.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think Lee jumped on. He said he got the courage to do it, but I'm glad he jumped on. But yeah, I guess I'm okay. I know last week Jay had jumped on because he felt sorry for me being the only one on, but see, it was no big deal. I mean, as long as I can talk about Alita and there are people listening, I have no problem with that. I mean, seriously. I mean, you guys know I'm long-winded anyway. I think the only time I've ever been on a stream where I couldn't talk is that very first Radio Chaos stream I was on and my damn mic wasn't working. If you remember that, Maxie, I had to do everything in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
I remember that
pain in the butt. So anyway.
Well, you got to always start out in Radio Chaos with something not working because it's Radio Chaos.
That's right. It's chaotic. That's the way it goes, So. Oh, by the way, I know one thing, not to plug StreamYard too much, but they got a new feature on StreamYard now. I can advance these slides without alt-tabbing to it. They've got a thing where you can upload slides directly. So, yeah, that's cool. So, in the past, I've had people be in backstage and I was over on the other side, going through the slides and I didn't see them. But now, I can just advance the slides by clicking on the stream and StreamYard. You're on the screen, rather, like that. Okay, I know we've talked about a series, but what do you? I know we talked a lot about anime series, and I agree with with Den and Do Not Stand By. About having an anime series, but you know what? I think I'd like to see a live action series too, kind of like in the vein of the Mandalorian. That would be pretty neat, I think. Oh, by the way, Kunstler99 just joined us.
How's it going?
Hooray!
Hey, what's happening, Kunstler?
Oh, nothing much. Just getting off of a terrible day at work, but that's old news.
How's that sign business going, man?
Well, I got one pretty much finished up. I just got to wait for hanging hardware to come through on Amazon for one.
Yeah.
But so pretty good. I'm still waiting for the company to get back to me on the quotes that I sent them, but they're slow. Businesses are slow, especially when it comes to stuff they're spending money on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I'm waiting on that. But other than that, everything is, going as it should. Not getting a ton of hits on Facebook yet, but I haven't even really paid attention to how to market that yet.
Cool. Well, I know one thing. We're going to be using your sign, or not your sign. It's my sign, but it's our sign. I guess.
So is that a cosign then?
Maybe so. Oh, ouch.
Bad math joke. Sorry.
Yes, that's an Aussie joke, I guess.
No, it's a bad math joke.
Okay. So anyway, I guess we got Lee Lemon on. He's from south of Colorado Springs, and I'm in Denver or Littleton, I guess. And we got Do Not Stand By is in Arvada, and then we got Alita Rave is up in Fort Collins. So we're scattered all over the state, but sometime during Christmas holidays, we're going to have to do kind of a thing in the Kansas bar. And then I'll certainly put together a video on that. We can add that to a stream or something like that, So that'd be pretty cool. We could play it on both this stream and on the Radio Chaos stream. That'd be the neatest thing. So
that's fun.
Yeah, that's going to be neat. Everybody will see what the Kansas bar looks like again. So, but anyway. Yeah, what do you guys think about live action series? I know we talked about anime a lot, but what about the live action series? What do y'all think about that?
Well, the problem with live action series is that if you're going with the fully CGI Alita, it's going to be very expensive. Now, it's got to have return on investment. Well, not necessarily. They've got all the models and they've got the method down pat, and they've even moved forward a couple of years since then. So it should be getting a little bit cheaper and a little bit easier. The original movie was groundbreaking, and now that the ground is broken, it's much easier to plant the seeds, and grow the crops. So I think that it will be more expensive than your average series. Like, a guy in a Mandalorian suit's a lot cheaper than a fully CGI main character for all the scenes, except for the odd what the bad guys are up to scenes. But it was an expensive movie to make, based on all the CGI and how good the CGI was. It was top tier. So, do you cheap out a bit and make it not look as good in the live action series? I wouldn't expect so, because people would be turned off by it. Once you make an expectation of what the character's going to look like, you don't want to then drop the ball on that. So I think a live action series would be the most difficult one to make happen, because you wouldn't necessarily get the return on a live action series that you get on a movie.
Yeah. Well, they could do a deep fake type thing, and that was pretty good. I know that last episode of The Mandalorian, where Mark Hamill, came in as Luke Skywalker at the end, that looked pretty good to me. I think Alita's, her face and all that, the way they did it was certainly a lot more detailed and all that. But, I think in a series that would probably be passable, don't you think, folks? I don't know.
I think the format and how it was written, it would be very well matched to it. I think the story would flow better the way that the comic book flowed. But you have the issue of the quality of the actual cinematography. I
Yeah.
think if you have good directors, you could easily get that done in a passable way, but it's not going to be anywhere near the special effects or the cinematography that you had in the movie. For them to be able to justify the cost with as niche of a market as they'd be looking at, that they know they'd be looking at.
Yeah, that's to Maxie's point. I guess it'd be expensive too, I guess.
Yeah.
So
if they didn't decide to cheap out, if they decided to cheap out, like, I don't know, if you were looking at something that was like a almost like a redo, like, or like a remake, but make it into a whole series to cover, and you start off from square one, and you kind of be like kind of more faithful to the chapters of it, I think you could kind of get away with it. But like, I think it's still too soon from the movie coming out for you to get away with kind of like a, retcon,
yeah, I guess so. I guess what you could do is that as the deep fake technology improves, because it's improving all the time. I don't know if you've ever been to that YouTube page they have. Some of that is pretty phenomenal, where they've had, I guess they put Patrick Stewart's face on Yul Brynner's Westworld body, and it looked pretty convincing, And I probably, if they did another movie and then they had an anime and then they kind of did like they did with the Mandalorian, after several years, now they do the deep fake version live action. They might be able to get away with it if they improve the technology a lot, because let's face it, that mocap was great and all that, but eventually it's going to become obsolete because technology is always changing. So, if once they get to the technology where maybe it's not quite as expensive, then maybe they can do it, I think.
I'm just going to throw this idea out of maybe after Alita becomes human, they could have Rosa Salazar play in the live action and have her play mostly as her human self, but exploring or rediscovering her memories from her past life on Mars. So it'd be a combination Rosa Salazar as a human and reminiscing and flashing back to like a prequel.
Yeah. Yeah, they could do that. I'm wondering, there are certainly a lot of shots in the movie to where, you can see Rosa's face, when they show close-up of Alita's face. There are several shots you can see Rosa, I do anyway. But not every shot, and I'm wondering how they would, if they did a human version of Alita like that, if they would have to retain Alita's face. I mean, certainly Rosa, she's nice looking, and she can definitely, her body would work great, but, Alita's face, I'm not sure if Rosa's face is close enough. Maybe it is. I don't know, What do y'all think about that?
I think, I don't know. I do think you can have it be close enough. There's a lot of things you can do with makeup.
Yes.
But it's, again, it's the shape of the face that you're not going to really be able to get, and it's the eyes. The eyes are that's, if people are going to want to watch it, they're going to want to watch it because
I'm going to watch it. Oh, I'd watch it.
You got to figure so much of the budget was to get that right. Like a good chunk. Like you gotta figure you got at least you got tens of millions of dollars just to get her character right. The look.
Yeah.
The mocap. Probably more than that. You're probably talking like almost 20 for just that part. But and that's the thing. I don't think they would want to abandon that. They've invested so much money into that already.
Yes,
Why did we do all that?
Yeah.
Well, it would certainly be cheaper to switch to anime for Last Order, in that you've got so many non-human looking characters
Yeah.
And to try and 3D generate all of them in full CGI would be horrifically expensive.
Yes. Well,
you've also got multiple looks for Alita, you know, cat leader,
Yeah.
winged angel cat leader, you know,
yeah.
there's a lot in there, and it would just be a lot cheaper.
Well, the same would be true of Mars Chronicles, wouldn't it? I mean, if they did a prequel anime series of that, they have a lot of characters in that too that are, you know, not strictly human looking. I guess they're humans, but a lot of them. But you know, still, I guess if you CGI'd them, it'd be tough. I guess it would be expensive for that one too. I guess.
Yes. I mean, the whole point of having a leader in the motorball body at the end of the first movie was to spend the money now and have that cheaper for the next one.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what the deal was.
Yeah.
Well, and if you think about it, if you did do an anime series and it was from the same studio, like they could take a lot of what they already have for the 3D CGI stuff and use that as a template for the anime. Like, you would barely have to spend any money for it to be an anime, because you'd have to literally dumb down the files for your CG graphics. So you already have the baseline designs for these characters that all you'd have to do is convert to an anime format.
Well, once again, too, though, if it was live action, you know, and as deep fakes technology gets better and better and better over time, you know, eventually, like I said, that mocap stuff's going to be obsolete, you know, just like a lot of other technology's obsolete. You know, how many of us have 386 computers now? You know, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. You know, we have, you know, really Intel, you know, i3, i5, i7, i9, you know, or AMD, you know, processors with really, you know, fast graphics cards, and they can, you know, support 8K and all that kind of stuff. You know, you didn't have that back in the 80s and 90s. So, you know, I mean, technology, we just lost Kunstler. You know, eventually, you know, technology just keeps improving. So that's what I'm thinking, that they might be able to pull off eventually with a live action, where it won't be quite as expensive, you know, as doing mocap is now. Because think about them trying to do Alita Battle Angel back in 1985. Think about that. It would be very difficult to pull that off back then. Now they can do it, you know, because technology's improved so much. So
it would basically be like the fairly bad live action anime spin-offs that come out of Japan.
Yeah.
Where they get some kid that doesn't really look like her, and off they go. There's no great, you know, effort to really make it work properly.
Yeah. You know, I think Dan mentioned games a while ago. Certainly that'd be a lot easier to pull off, wouldn't it? Because that'd be like, you know, that would be animated, I guess, you know.
Give it to an indie studio. Don't give it to, even though they probably would, you know, end up being the ones to have it, like EA or Activision. But yeah,
definitely an indie studio.
What happened?
Definitely an indie studio.
Yeah, because I don't think that there's been a good AAA game in like the last 10 fucking years. So, but I think that you know, I don't know, or let Japan make it. You know what I mean? A good, and the thing about like an Alita game is that it doesn't have to be super expensive, because it's already an anime-ish property. You know what I mean? You don't need like photorealistic graphics, because that's not necessarily what we are attracted to in Alita. It's a fantasy world, so you know you can focus mostly on the gameplay, and like I said, you know, follow Alita's life in an action RPG.
You know, many years ago there was that movie Beowulf. I don't know if you remember it. It had a lot of good actors in it.
I do. I saw that in theaters.
Yeah, exactly. Anthony Hopkins and just a ton of others. You know, I guess Angelina Jolie was in it, and I can't recall who else was in it. But you know, the technology now, of course, has gotten better and better. You know, and they, you know, if they did. You know, Ash Blackwind says he prefers 2D over 3D, but he's okay with 3D if it's done well, I guess, is his point. I think they could do this with Alita, I think. You know, I mean, she's another character, you know, and they can certainly do it, you know, I think. You know,
I agree with
so
them. I say I prefer 2D animation over 3D, but if 3D is done really well, then
yeah.
Well, the best of both worlds, as far as I'm concerned, is 2D with 3D elements, like fireworks, water, and things like that go really well in 3D in a 2D environment, and all the characters are 2D. But you can have 3D explosions and things like that, which give it a little bit more oomph, but don't take away from the 2D.
I guess they're kind of moving that direction with Dragon Ball. The next movie is going to be the last movie was partially 3D, and then this next movie is going to be more in 3D. With I guess it's like 3D with 2D drawn on top of it or something like that. But I guess it's cheaper to make or something like that. So I guess maybe if they put it more in that direction, I
think they're trying to appease the fans of both methods. I mean, there's people who are 2D only and people who are 3D only, and they're trying to meet them in the middle.
Yeah,
keep all the fans in, but I mean, I find it works really well. I mean, you're sort of looking at going, when they've done it properly, you can't be sure if it's 2D or 3D. You watch the way it moves and you go, nobody hand animated that. No, that's too hard. That's got to be 3D, but it fits really nicely.
Well, the one thing you'd want, though, whether 2D or 3D, if it's 3D, then you're going to need, you'll need a fast computer with a really good graphics card, that in order to play the game without it being a little, jumpy or something like that. 2D can pretty much play on any computer, I think. So, there's that, because a lot of folks don't have, I know Den's got a gaming computer, but some folks don't, so I'm not sure how well. I guess it depends on how they coded, put the code together and stuff like that. But, if you got a really photorealistic game, that's going to require some processing power, and it's going to require, a really good graphics card, I think.
It'll require the developers to spend a lot of time focusing on the game's aesthetics and stuff like that when they shouldn't. Make a good game instead, and then later, if you have time, tweak that stuff. Because
that's right. I agree with that. Yeah,
Halo Infinite is the most hyped game of this year, and even that is releasing in pieces over the next few months, and it's been a 5-6 year development period. You know what I mean? This is the longest development between any Halo games in a long time. It's been 5-6 years, and they still can't even release the game on time. And what we got of the game, even the piece that we have now, is still radically incomplete. Things that we had with Halo 1 aren't even there. And it's because these games just take too long and are too expensive to make these days. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stuff that, like I said, stuff that was standard in Halo 1 is now considered an extra in Halo Infinite. And, and it's not even talking about things like Cyberpunk and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Another game with a ridiculously long development period that came out absolutely broken. So what we just need is stop focusing on these. Look at these indie games. You know what I mean? I think they're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, people just focus on the looks of the game. And back in the day when you couldn't make a game look that good, you spent your time on the gameplay, and the gameplay was addictive.
Yes.
And you played it for the gameplay. You didn't play it because it looked special.
Yeah, that's right.
And they've just got basically they're different departments. It's not the same people working on the graphics that are working on the gameplay. It's just that they don't spend the money in the gameplay development team. It's like an afterthought.
As far as I know, they had to get a lot of the elements to work together, though. And these games just from the little bit of stuff I know about technology and rendering and stuff, that stuff takes a long time to render, especially when you can see the pores on the character's face. You know what I mean? I understand the different departments, but you still have to get them to work together. And there's just, these games are so glitchy and so buggy and take so long to make. And they're large too. They're insanely big. Like Master Chief Collection altogether is like 700 gigs. And I get it. These are a lot of games, but you can download Master Chief Collection piecemeal, right? The original Halo can fit on an old 2 gigabyte memory card, whereas the Master Chief Collection Halo is like 160 something gigabytes. It's insane how much they're putting behind these games these days. And I just think that they just need to take it back, because the thing about it is the fans don't care about the graphics as much, which is why indie games blow up so much. Cuphead looked amazing, but it's because it wasn't trying to look photorealistic. People still bought Skyward Sword just a couple months ago for $60, and that was a Wii game. You know what I mean? A game on the original Wii. So I don't think people care too much about the graphics, but when you're getting into your PS4s and PS5s and Xbox Series X's and stuff, I think the developers themselves think that people care about this stuff. Well, that's the 2000s where people cared about that, not today.
Yeah, well, I know in these games, I know I'm not a big game player, and the games I play are old games, but the thing of it is like if I was going to play a new game like that, like Alita game, I mean, she might look cool and everything if you could see the scar on her nose and the pores on her face, but if that's going to detract from the game, because I mean, if it's laggy or something like that, it's going to be frustrating, So I think if it just looks like Alita, and she's cute and all that, and she's a good fighter in the game, I'm good with that. It doesn't
that's
have
really
to be
all we want.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I said in that video, if you did it in Alita game, so that's why I broke it down into two. You get one version that kind of looks like the movie and is focused on multiplayer, just like your average AAA game, that these game developers make to get a few $1 billion, in their pockets, But then if you take a game and you really want to make it for the fans, make it manga based and have like an anime aesthetic. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Zelda, which one was it? The Wind Waker, right? It looks good today. The graphics hold up because it was cell shaded graphics. It looks like a cartoon. So really, it's not that big of a jump when you go from GameCube to, I don't know, Xbox or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the graphics still hold up today, and you could do something like that with a simple art style. That's just a large game focused on the story and the gameplay. Like remaking Martian Memory, I think would be best served by having a simple art style for the anime focused art style for the game.
Yeah. Welcome, Chaos Nova. How's it going?
Going great.
Cool. Yeah, I noticed you play a lot of games and you record them and put them on YouTube, Chaos.
Oh, sometimes they're live. Just depends.
Yeah. We were just talking about whether we need a photorealistic Alita game or just a really good game where, it's Alita.
I'm going to say it before and I'll say it again. They should get Martian Memory on the PlayStation Store, and it wouldn't be too hard to modify it to be better, more detailed graphics.
Not at all, dude. I like a lone developer, like a person on his own, can do that in just like a few months. You know what I mean? There's a game that's on Steam right now that one dude made more or less by himself, and it looks amazing. You know what I mean? It looks way more fun than a lot of the shit that's coming out of AAA studios these days.
Not just that, but everyone probably remembers what happened with the Terminator Resistance for PlayStation.
No.
A smaller developer literally made a game that's just based off the old Terminator timeline. Fairly simple, and it's you in the future as one of the soldiers.
And a small developer is able to do it. Like seriously, if you wanted to remake Martian Memory and put it on the store, you can get two guys that you normally don't give jobs to because I don't know, you don't trust them because they're noobs or whatever, and just have them do that, make that their project, and boom, there you go.
Well, as long as they translate that, I mean, one of the things about that game, I mean, I love watching Chaos play it on YouTube, but and I'm still amazed that he can pick out, what weapons to select and what abilities that she has. And it's all in Japanese. I don't know how the hell does he know what that
we
means.
got Max and Chaos for that, man. Between them, they know enough Japanese in order to get that shit done. Plus, Max just knows the story like back and front. So if he doesn't know Japanese, he can guess what they're saying.
Yeah.
Right. I did some translated pictures. I'll do it again now that I'm not so busy with things. And I ought to start doing it before tax season kicks in.
Yeah. I kind of wish they would translate that game, though. I mean, and put it on the Play Store. I mean, I'd get it.
Well, I know. And sometimes stores like the PlayStation Store have modified versions of older games that are just better, like System Shock.
Yeah.
It's a very old game for DOS, but they did enhanced edition, and now they're doing a remake of it on the game stores. So reserve your copy. And they did it with a number of other games, just the old first Deus Ex. I'm trying to think of, they did Revision, which is just a way more like the old Deus Ex game from 2001. They came with the Revision in 2013, and that's just a way more realistic and way more detailed version of the game. The AI is better. the maps and the world that you're in are much way larger.
Yeah.
It actually looks like, what I remember from walking around New York City and a couple of the other places you're in the game. It's just bigger. It's bigger and better.
Yeah.
Because some people were willing to literally overhaul the game, and now they have that version on the store. So I'm just saying the game stores online is one of the best things that we've had in the past 10 years.
Okay, well, anyway, I think we got the games pretty. What about who's to switch back to series or even movies? I got Disney Plus up there, but I know a lot of folks in the Elite Army don't like Disney, and they're afraid that if Disney does an Alita thing, if they don't do it through 20th Century Studios, it's going to be
They should ask Madhouse. They're a good anime studio. I like a lot of what they do.
Okay.
Cowboy Bebop and the others.
Yeah.
JC Staff.
But I'm thinking about, though, a big movie, studio like Paramount or somebody like that. Doing Alita movie. If Disney, of course, I don't see Disney turning loose of Alita. I mean, I think it's got too much potential, and I think in some ways they kind of know that, but they're kind of, I don't know what they're doing. They say, well, maybe it has a lot of potential, but we don't want to turn loose of it, particularly if our competitors are going to get a hold of it, and they're not going to want to, give something to their competitors. I think that might be another reason there.
Well, it's called having something in reserve, because you don't know how long the current IPs are going to stay big. There's usually a peak in interest.
Yeah,
it happens. I mean, like Home Alone movies, like they were interesting and they were pretty successful with the first two, but after number 3, it was either bombing in the theater or direct to video.
Well, they just came out with another Home Alone, didn't they? I heard
right.
That
It's a direct to Disney Plus.
Yeah, and it's not doing that well from what I've heard. So
it's a rental film. That's what streaming is.
Yeah.
I mean, something you get for cheap to spend the weekend on, basically.
Yeah. Well, one other thing about Alita too that there's a big potential of, I guess, that I'm going to kind of mute you there, Chaos, for a little bit, a lot of background noise. I guess one of the things about Alita that some more potential is in the merch. More action figures and all that. I mean, I know every day I look at my my Hot Toys Alita, I'm amazed at how good that thing is, and I can only see them improving on that even. So what do y'all think? What about the merch?
Motorpool Lego.
Yes. Oh, there was a version of the Cat Lita I saw on Twitter. Holy cow, I like that thing.
I just want that Prime 1 manga version of Alita, but not at like $4 billion. You know what I mean? I want those. That's the only figures I want is that, and maybe like the Uzuru Saiyan 8. You know what I mean? Other than that, I don't want any figures, but those two right there.
I think that Prime 1 version's $3,000. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's nothing on earth that could justify me spending that much on anything that is a figure. I'm sorry, but man,
I wonder how much that Cat Lita version costs. The one that was on Twitter, you guys probably saw it. John Lutz brings up something pretty cool. I know Maxie would get this. Alita in the motorball body, a Hot Toys Alita.
I would have responded quicker, but I was eating a boiled egg.
Oh, that's okay. So but I would love to have that Prime 1 version. I'm like, Dan, $3,000's a lot of money, and of course, I paid a lot of money for some of the stuff I got now. So but that's kind of a lot. But that cat Lita thing, I'd love to have that damn thing. You know, that'd be because you know y'all know that Cat Lita is my favorite version of Alita. So you know although that's not saying a whole lot because every version of Alita I like a lot. So. Any other thoughts, guys, about what's going to be in a series? Like Lee, you or Do Not Stand By. We've been kind of dominating the conversation a little bit.
Well, I do need to continue writing, and I'll have another episode of the YouTube contributions.
Okay, cool.
Next Monday.
Cool. So everybody be on the lookout for that one.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was brought up before, but I know I've kind of mentioned it in other streams where we've talked about this, but a prequel to like the Karula backstory, because it happens way before the fall.
Yeah.
Like way before, like, I think that would be cool because it would be a cool story and people wouldn't really know what it was referencing to until sequels came out. And, it would be one of those like kind of sneaky movies where you wouldn't know they'd be related until there's the link between, but you could still make a good ass story, and you don't even need any CGI much because you don't have any cyborgs yet. It's just the kind of the mutations.
Well, you could also do something similar to the Animatrix, where it's just like a bunch of related spin-off films to kind of promote.
Yeah, but I mean, I do think that Karula backstory, you could make a full feature film, and it would be a conclusive story with kind of the hint of, this is what's coming up. You could almost do like a time lapse to what's going on, and then like at the very end of the picture, you could see like them starting to build the basically the ladder.
Right.
The only thing is, I think any kind of movie without Alita in it, that character, whoever that, like in this case, it'd be Karula, I guess, it'd have to be compelling, and the Alita army and other fans are going to have to fall. They're kind of gambling on that a little bit, don't you think? I mean, I like Karula, I think she's great, but I'm not sure she's going to capture the audience like Alita did,
Well, and this is the thing too, with the way that it was done, is you meet Karula first, and you go through that interaction, and then you find out her backstory, and it would kind of lose the mystery to it when that were to happen, because then people would already know who she is. So I mean, that's a fair point, but I'm just saying that would be cool to see in movie format, and I think with it being as different as it would be to the whole, kind of cyborg things at the time, it would be kind of the apocalypse is happening. It's an ice age and humanity's barely surviving. And I mean, I think that would be a cool enough of a story.
Yeah.
Is this the one you're talking about?
No, it was, no, it's not that one. Let me see if I can find it over here on my Twitter somewhere. Let's see if I can find that damn thing. Let's see.
Is it where she's like on her knees and hands?
No. Let's see. I'll find it here pretty quick, I guess. But
I found one that Den will want. Let me share this for a second.
Okay.
Den will definitely want this one.
Yeah, definitely. I want to put that on my nightstand next to my bed, so every morning when I wake up, the first thing I see is him.
Who made that?
A good person made that. A person with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I wonder if the underwear are removable.
Oh my gosh!
I don't want to know.
No, I don't want that.
Gives a whole new meaning to cocking your weapon, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A whole new meaning. Yes. See, I'm trying to find that damn version here on Twitter. I can't.
That's made my morning.
Yes.
I'm sorry. The way that character went out too was just hilarious.
Let's see if I can find the damn thing here. I'm looking for the. See if I can find the damn thing. I like that one. That one tweet you put out, Dan, that shows a guy carving a turkey with a chainsaw.
Oh, that wasn't me. That was my buddy in Guatemala. He's an Alita fan too. He's been on he's been on my stream back when I had it on. Yeah.
I just love that one. That's pretty funny. Having just gone through Thanksgiving, with my family, which we had a great time, but it's kind of reminded me a little bit of it. Sad I can't find it. So
I have to do this one for the Zex fans. I keep saying the sex fans. I get in trouble.
Yeah, Zex. Yeah, Zex. Z. Yes.
I think everyone's a fan of sex.
Well, we are.
That's pretty dope, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Was that 3D printed?
Damn, it looks
I'm not
like
entirely
it.
Sure.
Looks like it.
Yeah, just like probably like not the filament kind, but the one that's like with the liquid, where it like builds up and like comes out of the liquid. I could see that.
Yeah, I can't find that damn thing.
This is from 2015, so the technology's come a long way since then.
Yeah, I can't find the damn thing.
Whoever made that did a fantastic job.
Yeah, well, this is in Japan, so it might be actual licensed from the manga.
That's crazy good.
Yeah, damn it, I can't find it.
Do you guys think that Kishiro would actually care if people were making unlicensed merch of his manga? I get the vibe that he wouldn't. That he would enjoy that.
It's free advertising.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike me as the guy who'd care, really.
I think because he's kind of, I know he's kind of almost not like a hermit, but he's not really public. But it kind of does seem like he enjoys that people enjoy his stuff. You know what I mean? Especially, putting fan art as actual official designs for Alita and Last Order and stuff like that. And he even has fan art on his website and stuff. I just get the vibe that he's kind of connected to the fans in a different way than a lot of creators.
Yep, that's what Creek. That's how Alita feels about her Uncle Creek. Yeah.
She's gonna boost you. That's a bit concerning.
Yeah, it is. So anyway,
I need to know who Georgie is because he made a funny one for me. Like, what are you doing with my car?
Georgie, the Alita fan on Twitter? Or?
Yeah, on Twitter.
Yeah, that guy. That's the guy that makes pixel art in Russia, I think.
Yeah, I love his meme, so I saved it. It's like, what are you doing with my car? It's the part where she hits the doll, and it's like, what are you doing with my car? And then they joke they have a one from Volume 1. It's just like, oh, nothing.
Yeah. Well, I can't find that picture of that one Cat Lita.
When you see cool stuff like that, dump it in the radio.
Yeah,
for the news.
Yeah, and I will, because I'll find it. I don't want to spend too much more time on it on the stream here, but I'll find it and I'll dump it, over there. So, okay, guys. Well, we've been going for over 2 hours here. Is there anything else that we want to see in any Alita sequel, trilogy, 4 movies, 10 movies, 20 movies, series, merch, anime?
Well, I'll just throw out that CD Projekt Red, who made Cyberpunk 2077, they have a lot to make up for with the buggy release that they had. It'd be nice if they licensed the engine for Cyberpunk 2077 after they fix it, of course, and somebody make an Alita video game off of that, kind of like what they did with Fallout New Vegas for Fallout 3's engine.
Yeah, I think they'd
like
do
that idea.
Yeah, they'd do an Alita game. They'd do it justice, wouldn't they?
I mean, I don't know about that, but
Oh, I think they would. If they learn their lessons, because I've only watched Angelus play Cyberpunk 2077, you know, but I've heard it had a lot of bugs in it. But if they've learned their lesson, you know, I mean, hopefully, you know.
You weren't talking about that, were you?
No, it's an actual picture of an Alita, not an action figure, but it's it's almost like the Prime 1 figure, you know. But no, I like that shot though.
Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Cat Lita, that's even though I'm a dog person.
This is the exception that makes the
That's
rule.
right.
Huh?
That's right. That's exactly right. So so anyway, Dan, I don't think you're a Cat Lita fan, are you?
Nah. I prefer tuned.
Yep. I like the tuned body. That's great. I like that one scene where, you know, figure 4 and that sidekick of his, you know, I guess part of the building come down. Yeah. And figure 4, they're looking out and they're saying, oh, it's a good thing we were by that window. And Alita's holding up this really heavy, giant weight above them, you know. No, and they don't even notice that she has stopped it from falling on them. And to me, it just strikes me as funny, you know. And that one and that one where that butterfly shows up, she shoots up the side of the wall or whatever, you know, and figure 4 says, what the hell was that?
Which I hope we see in the film one day.
Yeah.
I give her a lot of character, you know.
Yep. Yeah, it makes her human, doesn't it? She's got a phobia. Okay, guys, I guess.
And why does she have a phobia? Because Kashiro has that phobia.
That's exactly right. Yep, good point. So, guys, did we miss anything?
Nothing I can think of.
Yeah. Cool. Maxie, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, sure. Pretty straightforward. We're up to the end of the battle between Makaku and Alita, so we'll be talking about that one. Den, you were going to come on for this one, weren't you?
Hold on, unmuting. Yes, it's definitely going to be on.
Okay, so that is this the definite like last week when you didn't show up, or the definite like you actually didn't show up?
Hopefully, if I'm home, but my wife isn't. My wife isn't going to be home tomorrow, so I'll be here.
Do we need to like get one of those bolt guns and bolt you to the floor so you don't wander off?
Man, listen, we're gonna have to bolt gun my wife to death because she's the one who drugged me out of the house and then got me stuck in snowbird traffic. I have no idea. I moved to the country so I don't have to deal with traffic, but then I guess everyone had the same idea. Everyone from New York, so.
Well,
the holiday season it got so bad.
Well, snowbirds in Florida, that's a problem a lot of times.
Yeah,
it is.
It wasn't so much our area, but we went to the mall, just like run out and grab something really quick, just like a 30-minute trip, and we were just stuck watching red lights change to green lights and then back to red lights because the traffic was just that bad.
Yeah.
So I felt bad for you guys, you know, because I told you I was gonna come on and all that shit, and I didn't. But I didn't get home till late. I'm sorry about that, guys.
Well, that's right.
So we're going to have Denny on, and we might have Avon on for the 3rd week in a row because he's really liking the topics at the moment.
Yeah.
And Enigma's going to be coming on as well.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So, yeah, they're coming out of the woodwork. And now that Lee's been on this one, of course, we're going to have to drag him into Radio Chaos and show him some chaos.
Lee and Do Not Stand By, you know, they're. Do not stand by as a regular on this stream, and you could also show up to the Radio Chaos stream. There, both of you guys. So,
yeah, seeing it's wintry over there now and shitty to go outside.
Not really. It was up to 65 degrees here today.
You must have nicked our summer because we've had rain for a week. It's been fucking awful.
Oh man, it was nice here today. I don't know. What about you, Lee? And Do Not Stand By. How was the weather there down in Colorado Springs and Arvada? Wasn't it nice there too? I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was close to 70 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I mean it was nice.
Everything.
Okay.
But yeah, read up on Chapter 6 Struggle and get on and talk to us about the manga. We're going to have a good time.
By the way, Maxie, you'll have to send Dan a link because Tony actually actually established the instance on this. So
it's the same melon link that we've been using the whole time. It doesn't change. So
okay, cool.
We just scroll back, find it, and post it out.
Yeah.
And episode just before we go on, episode 93 looks like it's going to be Jinx versus Alita. Was Jinx taking cues from the Alita movie? So that's in Arcane. So we'll be talking about that one the week after. Because it's a hot topic. So I thought we'd better slot that one in.
And hopefully we'll have a special guest on too in one of these upcoming episodes.
Yeah, don't go advertising that until you know for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh no, we don't want to get our hopes up. You know.
Let's just say I'd like 99 to be that good.
Well, I mean, there was 2 special guests, and I'm thinking of the other. I was thinking of the other one, but well, we'll just let it go for that, you know. And anyway, here's our lady. You know, she's the one that made Alita happen. You know, I mean, I know Rob Rod directed it, and James Cameron produced it, and all that stuff. But without her, I think Alita wouldn't be the same. Because Rose is a great actress, in my opinion. So, you know, I just think I just like the expressions on her face. I think Do Not Stand By, and I've talked about this a lot. You know, how just how her presence, you know, in the movie just really, I know it knocked my head off the very first time I saw it. So it was great. So
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, why is this image here? Of course, you know, with this new thing they got here on StreamYard, I can't animate this, but that's okay. You guys have seen this 1,000 times, so you know what it is. You know, why is this image here? Because I like it, and I'm only here for our girl at the Alita Army. So, any last thoughts? Lee, you got any last thoughts?
Not off the top of my head, no.
How about it, Maxie?
Let's have a sequel. Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Sequel, please. Sequel, please. Yes.
Yeah. Just announce it so we can get all hyped up.
So we can just get on with it. Yeah, exactly. And before Creaky turns 400 years old too. So how about it, Dan? Any last thoughts? I think Dan's muted, or he stepped away. How about
I can help and answer while we're waiting for him.
Okay.
Just keep playing, keep enjoying it, and keep celebrating it.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
That's it. Do not stand by. Any last thoughts?
I do not stand by in the absence of sequel.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's right. And Chaos, of course, just gave us some pretty good advice there. And by the way, I highly encourage you to go to Chaos's channel. I like the way he, you know, some of those games he plays, you know, particularly when he plays Martian Memory. I like watching those. So it's really nice, you know. So
well, I would also recommend myself to, you know, visit Matrix University. I'll give a link in one of my videos to them.
Cool. And want to invite everybody to the Radio Chaos stream tomorrow. It's going to be great. You know, I know the Creek's going to be on there, and he'll try to not run his mouth so much. Let Maxie talk for a change.
No, look, it's a discussion, man.
That's right. Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the culmination of that big fight and how Alita comes to understand her foe and his backstory and all the stuff that they didn't get time to put in the movie.
Yeah. Okay, guys, since that's it, I guess we'll bring the stream to close. We'll do the old call to action. And, of course, that's going to be Film No Sequels, Baby. And that'll be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Film
No Sequels, Baby. Okay, and we'll see you guys next week and tomorrow on Radio Chaos. Ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye.